You walk in tired and hungry, one bad dinner away from losing it. You don't like to cook. You don't want more takeout. You just want something good. That's why there's Dish by Blue Apron. Pre-made meals with at least 20 grams of protein and no artificial flavors or colors. From fridge to fork in 5 minutes or less. Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Good afternoon, Ed.
Hey, afternoon?
Kind of evening. Yeah, I woke up late. Feels like afternoon. Sunday,
Very
innit?
nice. Good for some, isn't it?
Yeah. I watched this game yesterday on the Saturday afternoon and thoroughly enjoyed it. We watched Liverpool 2, Manchester United 3 from September 2010.
Yes.
I guess we'll get onto that shortly. I suppose.
Or United 3, Liverpool 2.
Yeah, to be
Old
much
Trafford.
more accurate about it. Yeah, because it's at Old Trafford. Fantastic game of football.
It was thoroughly enjoyable. Always enjoyable to beat the Scouts, but this was also a good game to watch.
Yeah, and I re-listened. We'll talk about this a lot more later, but I re-listened to the first 10 minutes of our show that we put out immediately afterwards. Still the Jungle Brothers theme tune. That's how long ago it is.
Wow.
And we just moaned about the defending the whole time, which, with 10 years of hindsight, really made me feel silly.
Spoiled.
Yeah, I don't think you would have listened to that and think in 10 years these guys are going to do a whole nostalgia show about this game. But yeah,
And it'd be completely different, because actually I was watching this thinking, wow, they actually defended pretty competently. Liverpool had hardly a chance in this game.
Yeah.
Scored twice in the second half, but they're both from set pieces.
both from significant defensive errors, I would say.
Yeah.
But, you know, but generally speaking, the pattern of play was not like that. But anyway, I guess we should talk about, we've talked every week about news when there hasn't actually been any news to talk about. So,
well, there's been bits of news where there really is news now, isn't there?
Yeah. So June the 17th. That's
June the 17th, and that's going to be City are going to play a game. The two teams, the four teams that have got to catch up, or the two games that are behind, will play. And so that's going to be on the, Thursday night, and then on the Friday night, there'll be a game. Saturday, there'll be 4 games. Sunday, there'll be 4 games. And Monday, there'll be a game. And it's going to be that pattern until the season finishes. So it's going to be a lot of football, and they're all at different times, and they're all going to be televised.
I mean, if only there was something to play for this season. What we need, really, is we need the relegation teams to all win their first couple of games or something, or like just have Norwich win their first 2 games, get a bit of a mix-em-ups in that relegation fight.
Is it Norwich that the biggest problem? The biggest problems are Aston Villa and West Ham. It's the people who think they can get out of it.
Yeah.
And we may still have a problem. We may still have a problem if there's a lot of positive tests, and we are talking about the return of the Premier League amid a falling death rate in the UK, but still a really high daily cases rate compared to the rest of Europe. Much, much higher than Spain, which will be starting La Liga on the same weekend, and Italy, which is starting a weekend later, I think something like that, or maybe the other way around. So there's a huge gamble being taken by the Premier League here. The England, or the UK, has the second highest per capita excess death rate, which is the model most statisticians say that we should use in the world. So it gives you some context for the kind of environment we're getting football back in. And so, huge risks. And then there's all the contractual integrity stuff. And so they're going to try and ram through all these games so they don't have to pay too much back to the broadcasters. And we could still get, even though they've officially signed on, those clubs who are likely who are in the relegation mixer, wanting to stop because there are tests, or potentially going to court because of the lack of integrity in playing at neutral venues or without a crowd. And we've already seen the results in the Bundesliga from 3 rounds of games that home advantage has gone out the window, basically, you know. And all the sort of historical statistical models say that there is basically, when there's no crowd, there's no home advantage.
Yeah.
So there's something in this argument. We've got a complaint as well, because for reasons I just cannot fathom, they've said because there was some fisticuffs in a United versus Sheffield United game from 2016, that the Manchester United-Sheffield United game that is supposed to be at Old Trafford and now be played at a neutral venue.
Wow.
And this is an absolutely critical game in Champions League qualification.
Yeah, of course.
Reckoning, isn't it? You know, and even if we say there's no advantage, or, you know, much less advantage playing without a crowd, it's still supposed to be at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
We played at their place.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to ask, because I haven't read anything forensically. So basically all I know is football's coming back and there's going to be an absolutely dangerous amount of it to mainline if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, so basically most of the players were back training sort of a week ago, non-contact, small game, socially distanced, small four-a-sides, that kind of thing. They're supposed to start contact training this week, and then with sort of more the week afterwards, sort of games, you know, in training, and just much more like the real thing. So they'll be fit by the time physically fit by the time the Premier League comes around, but not conditioned for, given that they've had 2 months off, not conditioned for the actual, you know, professional football. So it'll be interesting whether we see a lot of injuries, because there have, it seems, been quite a lot of injuries in the Bundesliga. And so it wouldn't be surprising.
Are there any changes to the rules with subs?
You know what? I don't know.
Okay.
I think they've been nominating 5 in the Bundesliga, haven't
right,
they?
Okay.
So I think they've been able to use 5 in the Bundesliga. So I think that's probably it, because FIFA passed that one.
And then my last question is: not every game is played at a neutral venue, right? This is their picking select fixtures.
Certain fixtures, yeah, and they've not actually published all the fixtures, all the locations yet, but certain ones where the local police said we'd prefer it not to be at this venue.
Right.
Almost certainly Liverpool will not get to play their first couple of fixtures at Anfield.
Yeah.
And apparently the London derbies will likely be shifted away as well.
Right.
There's an Arsenal-Tottenham game to come. So,
I mean, it's all a bit insane, isn't it? I haven't watched any Bundesliga football still. I think Premier League will be very different, because I just don't have an emotional relationship with the Bundesliga, right? So it's how much do you miss actual football? Well, I've watched as much actual football in the last number of weeks as I normally would, to be honest, just old games. And so I wasn't like desperate to watch any live sport of any kind, but I'm sure I'll like kind of watch the Premier League like it was a World Cup, which is kind of what it is, really, isn't it? So in the summer, and just games, 3 or 4 games a day and all that kind of stuff. It can be fun to have those kind of times. And obviously, like, even though lockdown restrictions are easing and changing in the UK, there's still plenty of restrictions in place, and, you know, minimal stuff that you can do. So just from that perspective, it's, as long as they can pull it off kind of safely and look after the players and staff and all those kinds of things, which is a big if, I guess. I'm quite glad it's coming back, I think. Maybe that's going to sound really callous and ill-informed because I haven't been paying close attention, but yeah.
I mean, look, life is continuing, so football is just one other industry, and there's plenty of risk being taken. It's probably likely that footballers are amongst the safest cohort of people in the country, right? They don't have to ride public transport or go into a crowded supermarket or, God forbid, work in a crowded workplace. Except, you know, in their actual match environment, they've been tested constantly. The one challenge we have here in the Premier League is that the contractor they're using for the testing can only turn it around in 48 hours. And you can meet an awful lot of people in 48 hours.
Yeah.
And that may well have an effect if we have a cluster of cases at different clubs. We'll see. That it's much faster in Germany, where they're turning it around inside 24 hours, and that does have a significant effect. And so I'd say the risks of us not completing the season are still pretty high.
Right. Wow.
But yeah, because if there's a couple of cases at a club, what do they do?
Yeah.
And that still has not been. We don't know what the protocol is. That they're saying, if it's an individual player, they have to isolate for 7 days. What if it's 3 or 4? You can send the whole squad home and they don't get to play for 2 weeks, and in a schedule when we're trying to finish this before August.
Yeah, going to be pretty crazy.
Anyway, and we haven't even got on to European football yet, but that will come later.
Yeah. Is the FA? Are they going to play the rest of the FA Cup?
Unclear.
Right.
Yeah. There are so many things that in Project Restart, all they've done is the restart bit.
Right.
The rest of it doesn't appear to have been. At least it's not been publicly announced. Or even leaked, so I'm not sure.
Did the Carabao Cup finish, didn't it? Yeah, City won.
Yeah.
And so, but we're still in the. I think we're still in the FA Cup. I have a memory of us still. My guess right now, if you ask me, we're still in the FA Cup. We beat Chelsea.
We're still in the Europa League.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
could have a lot of games to play.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
but we've got some people back. Paul Pogba fit. Marcus Rashford fit.
That feels a little bit like cheating. It's like the Champions League run-in. It's like, just delay the season for 3 months and have Pogba and Rashford back. And Pogba and Fernandes. Pogba's who obviously is going to be here for the whole of next season, or at least until January, probably beyond. It's pretty exciting, that part of it. I mean, the rest of... Listen, humanity is not exciting in any way, shape or form at the moment. I mean,
the world is on fire right now.
Yeah,
but
and
we can escape to the bubble of the Premier League for a bit, I suppose.
I'm sure everybody knows where we stand on some of the big issues happening in the world today, and there's not going to be any silence or obfuscation of those positions on this podcast. So, there's things all over social media if you're feeling powerless and helpless, places that you can go to direct your resources, either practical or physical, lots of information, lots of guidance and ways to educate yourselves on issues around race. So please do that if you haven't already. But let's just park the world for the next 60 minutes or so. And I'm kind of buzzing to watch Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes play together in Manchester United's midfield. That's going to be... No,
I mean, I think that's going to be fantastic. It'd be interesting to see what kind of formation. I mean, I would assume it would be the kind of the French-style formation with Pogba a little bit deeper and Fernandes further forward. But we can come to that in a couple of weeks' time when we'll do a preview show. We've probably only got like 3 or 4 of these nostalgia shows left. Paul and I said for our final nostalgia show, we'd pick a best 11 each
from the ones we've watched. Yeah, I'm really excited to do that. I know who the goalkeeper is, by the way, and I want to offer him a retrospective apologies for all the times I doubted that he might be.
I think I think there should be deep apologies. Yeah. Not about his punditry.
No, or his celebrating goals for Man City, but yeah. He did have a rick in him. That's still true. But anyway, we'll get onto that in a few weeks. Then, so we're going to do a couple more of these. Then we'll do a best 11 of the games that we've watched. And please send us your best 11s if you've been following along at home on the Game Club. And then we're going to do an actual season preview show, I guess, in a few weeks' time. So should we take a quick break and then come back with Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2.
Alrighty.
If you're really enjoying the show, we'd absolutely love it if you could tell a friend, because this is the best way to spread podcasts. The other thing that would be super helpful is if you consider giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Thanks, everyone. Dimitar Berbatov, one look at City and he said no thanks. The thing about that song, right, is...
I think there was something wrong there.
Yeah, the lyrics were not quite right. But definitely, having heard Dimitar Berbatov speak a lot since then, that's exactly the real lyrics of the song is exactly what he would have said, because he's a very, very sweary gentleman.
Yes. I think he may have said a few choice words after scoring some of these goals, especially the second one.
I mean, it's a phenomenal performance. So we watched this game with some international commentary of the lowest order. Alan McAnally as lead com and Craig Burley as co-com. Brutal. This is what the people around the world have been exposed to for many years. I've got plenty of complaints about the commentators we experience on UK TV, but this was up there with the worst I've ever heard, really.
We'll get to some of the specifics, I guess. So this is the 2010-2011 season. United end up champions.
Yes,
that's correct. Yes, from Chelsea.
100% correct, yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. Final of the Champions League. I can't remember what we did in the FA Cup. I don't think we won it.
No, we didn't. We definitely didn't win it. I thought you were going to say I can't remember what happened in the final of the Champions League, and I was going to say
no,
I remember Rooney
Rooney
scored at one point.
Yes,
but yeah, so this is that season, and talking about apologies owed. I did listen to the first 10 minutes of the show that came out immediately afterwards, and it was disgraceful. We were an absolute disgrace in 2010. Spoiled, entitled, no idea how good we had it. No idea.
Man, if you could just forward a few years.
The complaints.
Right, lads.
Yeah. This is
they say youth is wasted on the young, because you're too much of an idiot. Yeah.
Ferguson's Man United.
Football was wasted on us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we spent a lot of this game talking about the defensive problems that United were having. Now, in our defence, and this was very different not having it contextualised, we had just blown a lead against Everton to draw 3-3. I think we'd drawn 2-2. We were about to draw 2-2 against Bolton. We'd drawn 2-2 against Fulham. So we were conceding goals for fun at this point. But I don't think we had proper context for just how good this team was at general being a football team. And also, one thing I didn't remember about this game is how rubbish Liverpool were at this point. I mean, they are
dreadful in this game, Liverpool. I mean, 3-2, you might think it's a really close game and that somehow Liverpool pushed us. I mean, if you listen to the commentary, you might believe that too. Ridiculously one-eyed commentary. But Liverpool are not in this game at all. Ever. I mean, they play 5 across midfield, and it's an absolute jumble as well. This is quite early in Roy Hodgson's time as Liverpool manager, and he's playing Gerrard, Paulson, Maxi Rodriguez, who's a very strange player. Yeah, pretty much the only analysis from this commentary that I agree with.
Craig Burley hates Maxi Rodriguez so much.
Yeah, Morales and Joe Cole, who I'd completely forgotten played for Liverpool at one point.
And from his performance...
and they're just completely outpassed by United playing a straight 4-4-2, basically. Giggs is wide, Nani is wide, Fletcher and Scholes completely dominate in midfield. I mean, Gerrard scores twice, but he's just not in this game at all.
No.
At all.
I mean, like you said, scored twice, kissed the camera, did nothing, basically, all game.
I mean, it's always and of course I have a very one-eyed view of Steven Gerrard because I'm a United fan and I don't care for him much. But he always struck me as that's the kind of summary of his career. Did the highlight things, he scores a goal from 30 yards and is just not in the game. And something like that. I think he's probably one of the earliest perfect YouTube players. A highlight reel is much better than his actual performances. And this one, he scores from a penalty and a free kick. Apart from that, Liverpool just completely dominated in midfield.
Yeah. So, Berbatov was described by the manager in the pre-match programme, as the commentators referred to repeatedly, as having a touch of genius about him. And it's isn't it classic Fergie that in a game where Berbatov scored a hat-trick, including a amazing overhead kick of basically his own creation, he'd written in the programme notes that he was a genius. Just very apropos timing.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember the exact context in the lead up to this, but he was under pressure. Of course, Berbatov, this is his 3rd season at the club. He hadn't done great in the 2 previous seasons. He ends this season with 21 goals, but 8 of them come in 2 games, 3 against Liverpool, 5 against Blackburn. And he's going to end up leaving the club as not a success given the weight of the fee. But this is his best season at the club, and this is one of his best ever games at the club.
Yeah, so we talked on the show at the time that he'd been getting booed the season before by United fans. In this season, he'd scored he scored in 4 out of the 5 opening games of the season. He'd scored in the first game, the third game, the fourth game, 1 in each of those. Then he got his hat-trick in this. So he was really on absolute fire. Didn't score again until the Blackburn Rovers game. So
Right.
so the Blackburn Rovers game is on the 27th of November. By which point he's scored 11 of his 20 goals already. And like we said, 8 of them in 2 matches. So
right,
it's not really a good season.
Yeah,
but
it's still his best.
Yeah, absolutely. And this performance, I mean, he's just such a scintillating performance. He's 2 of his goals are basically like strikers' goals, and then the other one is pure Berbatov.
Yeah, it's interesting goals he scores. I mean, the game, United. It's 15 minutes until Liverpool create anything, and United completely on top in those first 15 minutes. They're just completely dominant, aren't they?
They don't have a shot for 24 minutes, Liverpool. 24 minutes is their first shot.
Right, that's it. Yeah, Johnson fires wide on 24 minutes. Yeah, at 15 minutes, great chance for Nani should have scored. Lovely. Oh, just piece of Berba sex. In the build-up where he dummies and absolutely sells Carragher down the river. I mean, it's one of those ones you just want to retire. Carragher has a horrible game, by the way.
Yeah, real bad. There's like
which you love to see, don't you?
Within the first 5 minutes, there's been a cross in from Evra, decent corner with a header from Vidic. Then just a few minutes later, there's a ball in from Nani, which O'Shea miscues. Johnny Evans is somehow on the left wing at one point, even though he's playing centre back. Crosses to the back post, which is headed back in. There's a Giggs cross, which Rooney heads wide. Carragher pulls Vidic's shirt, like, for the most... Not a lot of conversation about that from Craig Burley. I tell you, like, it's mentioned, but he's like, well, things happen, basically. But it's like, he says Vidic makes the most of it. Vidic jumps and can't leave the ground because Carragher's like he falls in midair because Carragher pulls his shirt.
The well-known diver that is Nemanja Vidic.
Yeah. Oh my God, though. Talking of well-known divers, Nani is an absolute disgrace.
Oh no,
in this game.
He's Agent Nani. He's a full-on red in it. Yeah.
It's appalling behaviour.
Filthy diving. Anyway, he should have scored after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it kind of breaks from him. It's a nice build-up in which the dummy falls. Carragher, Rooney scuffs a shot, and then it falls to Nani from 8 or 10 yards out, and he just shoots it. He's well wide with the shot, but he really should have scored.
I think he's trying to cross it because Berbatov's coming in at the back post. Unless it's an absolute shank, I think he's trying to put a ball into Berbatov instead of shoot, which it was a bad
hits
decision.
That cross pretty hard.
Yeah, right.
Or at least attempts to. And then what? I mean, 10 minutes later, Liverpool finally get a shot where Johnson from the right cuts in and shoots with his left, but it's not a good shot. Was there something happening in between?
Yeah, just one thing that nearly brought a tear to my eye because a corner comes in and it's kind of half cleared and like, oh, I'm such a stupid person. I'm genuinely getting choked up saying this. The ball comes out and Paul Scholes shoots from range and just it did something to me, seeing the ball kind of bounce out from a corner and Paul Scholes whack. It's not miles over or anything. Doesn't really look like it's going in. It was just, oh God, the amount of times, it's that camera shot. Because obviously, like most of Ferguson's United I watched on telly rather than in real life. It's the camera shot of as the ball bounces out, you kind of know Paul Scholes is going to be there. Like, that the sun's going to come up the next morning and he's not there anymore,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a nice moment. But
this first half hour of the game, United moving the ball so nicely. So just Giggs is using the ball really well from the left. He's sort of playing as a winger, but this is Giggs later into his career where he's sort of smart with the ball, not trying to take everyone. Nani is being really progressive, gets an assist in this game, of course, although, half an assist. Half an assist. But he's threatening down the right. Scholes and Fletcher just complete control in the centre of midfield. I mean, what a good pair that was. And I think we disregarded them at the time. Scholes coming later in his career. Fletcher, this was the season where, of course, he ended up sort of really making some of himself, I guess. Yeah. Oh, well, no.
2009.
2009, yeah. So, but they're really good, moving the ball so quickly, much more quickly than a United side does today. Well, maybe we'll see that again with Bruno and Pogba.
The player that we really hammered on the show was John O'Shea. Like, you can't have John O'Shea as a first-choice right-back. Like, John O'Shea is better than any first-choice right-back we've had, maybe until this season, since he left. Like, that's the ridiculous thing about it. And actually, he's perfectly good in this game. He just makes one mistake. I mean, it's a crucial mistake.
Levels. So we expectations were really high.
They were really high. It was nice to see Patrice Evra again, just the sheer speed. Johnny Evans has something of a mare, and I think, one of the things I did agree with listening back to the show was just how much we missed Rio and how Johnny Evans really looks a shadow of himself playing alongside Vidic compared to playing alongside Rio.
Right, yeah. I mean, Evans has blossomed later in his career. I mean, you can argue that he's had a better time after it's not many players go up after they leave United, but you could argue that Evans has. Just taking a responsibility, being a more senior player and all of that, maybe just grew into himself later in his career.
Yeah. So there's horrible rolling around from Nani. Torres does the first thing he does in the game about the 35-minute mark, and this is really like peak declining Fernando Torres, but there's a bit of skill which he just...
Yes, he declines more rapidly after. Yeah. I mean, he actually makes a £50 million transfer after this.
Absolutely crazy.
You look at that performance, you're just, what?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, there's one moment of, like, he beats a couple of players and then beats another player again. And you can see the player that he was there. But then there's some absolutely world-class bad defending from Torres for United's first.
For United's opener. Yeah, he should have error leading to goal.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't have. I was looking at the statistics, but he should have.
Yeah, me too, because he just stands behind Berbatov with his arms round him, which, everyone wants to cuddle Dimitar Berbatov, I get it. But
that's all right if you're goal side.
Yeah.
When you're not goal side.
No, he's literally standing behind him, and Giggs just pops the ball on his head, and he literally just, like, I mean, if you haven't seen this goal for a while, go back and watch the highlights of this game. I mean, you should do that anyway because of the second goal. But you will never see defending this bad. There's no way of defending worse than this unless you deliberately score a goal on your own.
My note says, pathetic defending, lols all round.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just... I mean, he's a striker trying to defend, but that is bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Berbatov just turns his head and scores the easiest goal he'll ever score. And he clearly felt the difficulty level wasn't high enough. My other final note before half time is just a really nice touch and spin and a sort of low scoopy shot that goes wide from Rooney, who is, this isn't like a memorable Rooney performance, but he's just casually excellent all the time.
Yeah. It's interesting watching him and Berbatov, because I remember at the time we had a lot of discussion about who should be the deeper player, and in Fergie's sort of classic 4-4-2, one's 10 yards off, one's further forward, and Rooney had his best seasons numbers-wise playing right at number 9, and arguably his better performances playing a bit deeper. Because he's involved in the game. But you could say the same of Berbatov. He naturally wanted to drop deeper. But he scores goals in this season when he's a bit further forward.
One of the things we were talking about is we had a Champions League game coming up against Valencia, and Fergie wasn't playing 4-4-2 in the Champions League at all. So it was, what do you do with Berbatov, who's in sparkling form? If you're not playing 4-4-2, you can't play Berbatov up front on his own. I meant to look up what formation he had played in that game, but certainly in the Champions League final, by that point. And Berbatov's had his best goal-scoring season ever. Doesn't even get off the bench. He brings Michael Owen on instead of Berbatov and plays Hernandez and Rooney up front in a 4-4-2. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they spread goals around this season. Hernandez ends the season with 20 in all competitions. Rooney only 16. Berbatov 21. So, lots of players. Michael Owen, nothing. God. It's still shameful that he ever wore a United shirt.
It's the worst. So Liverpool did start the second half a little bit brighter and kind of on the front foot. But it is United that have the first shot. Nani has a shot at 48th minute. And then Fletcher has a dig from range, which gets a deflection, and Berbatov follows in to...
Almost there.
Yeah, tries to dink it past Reina, but can't quite.
But, when you say Liverpool start on the front foot, they have, one attack.
Yeah.
And then just go deep straight away. Gerrard's almost on top of his own... I mean, Paulson definitely is. He's a defender playing in midfield. But Gerrard's sitting deep as well. There's no ambition whatsoever in this Liverpool side, which is why it's really odd when the summary of the game from the commentators is Liverpool pushed United really hard in that second half.
Yeah, they scored 2 goals from big error leading to goals from United defenders. I mean, so the watching this made me really understand why Liverpool fans absolutely hate Roy Hodgson, because that is completely reasonable based on what he put them through. It was really, really bad. So yeah, even though they're supposed to be the kind of have a better second half, all my notes really are about United, and that's not just because I was only watching United for once. It's because they're making all the running. There's an amazing ball from Rooney to O'Shea on the flank, who knocks it back to Nani, absolutely destroys the stanchion, kind of hits the bit where the crossbar and the post join with a rasping shot. And then, I don't even know, I mean, we talked about this we did bonus content, we did the top 10 goals of the decade for the 2010s, and we talked a lot about where this one belongs in relation to the Rooney goal. And I think in the end we put the Rooney goal higher than this, but I feel like the public perception of John Kerry on this, just flip-flop all the time, and just seeing this goal more recently, I don't know if anyone's ever scored a better goal in football than this goal.
No. It is interesting, isn't it? I mean, it comes from Nani. I mean, obviously we took this apart in minute detail in the bonus shows, multiple of them, but he cuts back onto his left foot, he's on the right wing, and sort of floats across over. And the brilliance isn't necessarily just in the overhead, it's the fact that he controls it and sets himself up for the overhead all in one go. The moment that ball left Nani's foot, he'd decided that was what was going to happen.
Yeah. And that's what's so kind of, I'm being hyperbolic, obviously, but that's what is so magical about the goal. It's, I mean, there's a brilliant pass from Fletcher to Nani. Really, I assumed it was Scholes, actually, because it was a perfect raking diag. But it was Fletcher. And then it's funny that loopy crosses from Nani are responsible for the 2 goals of the season. This one didn't take a massive deflection and get shinned in, though. This one was... Rooney does well to kind of leave it and get out of the way. I don't know whether Berbatov shouts him. And the fact,
it feels like there was a shout there, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the fact that Rooney's so close to him adds yet another component of difficulty level. And that just Rooney's is entirely improvised. It's entirely visceral, isn't it? It's like 2 different jazz improvisers. I'm sorry, everyone. But it is. It's like 2 different jazz improvisers. One who's kind of wild and uncontrolled and occasionally hits moments of genius, and one who is just in the pocket all the time. Smooth jazz. That's Dimitar Berbatov.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's 2 sets of freeform jazz. I think Berbatov's is freeform jazz. Rooney is a garage band in a mosh pit.
This is exactly right.
He just does what?
Yeah, Rooney's. Rooney's is the best punk band ever, hitting a peak moment, and Berbatov is Miles Davis, and just his control of the ball, and then he bangs it top corner as well. Now, listen, he probably wasn't aiming for the top corner. He was probably just trying to get a foot on it, but it's a phenomenal goal.
You love to see it, especially against Liverpool. He loved it as well. I mean, he was always very cool with his celebrations. Not for this one.
No. He's like, oh, I'm going to dine out on this for the rest of my days. And rightly so. And my next note actually says Craig Burley hates Maxi Rodriguez, but my one after that says, Johnny, what are you doing? ?
Yeah, I mean it's just really bad because it's a nothing situation really. Torres makes a turn, not particularly tight or anything like that, and Evans, I mean, it's just he goes down in 2007 and takes him out in 2010.
He goes.
It's just
fully
so early
over the ball as well. Like he's I think he's aiming for the ball, but he goes completely over it, and then it goes ballistic. Like he looks genuinely aggrieved. He doesn't look like he's acting aggrieved. And I don't know what was going on in his head.
I don't know why. Did he think he got a little bit of the ball or something?
He must have done.
But even back in 2010, you can't get a little bit of the ball and two of your opponent's legs and go, oh, no pen ref.
No, absolutely not. So, no, I don't get it. Unless it was like, no, come on, ref. It's ridiculous that we've been this good in this game and we should somehow only be 2-1 up after this moment. I mean, so by the way, like United could have been a bunch of goals up. But
look, Gerrard scores this penalty. Absolute non-entity in this game before then.
Yeah.
Just completely hiding from it. And of course he gives it the big I am after he scores.
Yeah.
Not quite as big as the big I am that's about to come, but still.
Then it goes straight up the other end immediately. It was a good penalty from Gerrard. Fair enough. Well done. Well done. He's 13.
It's not that difficult against Van der Sar. Yeah, terrible.
The worst of the goalkeepers we've seen in this run.
Just based on these performances.
Bless him. Straight up the other end, putting the pressure on immediately. So it's not like United go into their shells at this point.
No, that's right.
Good crosses from both Nani and Giggs, who both... and then a moment later, Giggs absolutely skinned. You said he didn't like go past players, but he skinned Glenn Johnson in this, in not with pace but with skill. Nani is a very rolly boy. Too rolly, mate. Stop rolling. That's what I've written. Because there's one in the first half and then there's one in the second half, and then the penalty claim is, I mean, genuinely, like, Fergie would not have been happy with that. We know that he did not like this kind of, that level of just sheer play acting from his players. So anyway. But yeah, Giggs skins Johnson, puts in a lovely cross. Rooney touch falls to Berbatov, who shots block. And Nani skins Konchesky on the other side, but has a bit of a silly shot.
Man, if your left back is Paul Konchesky, wow, you're in trouble. Anyway, and then we come to the talking point, apparently, where O'Shea is booked for a foul on Torres as the ball's attempted to play through to Torres. And the discussion afterwards is, and I remember the discussion, I don't remember the incident, right, until I watched it again. And the discussion is, well, surely that's a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, last man, as they used to call it.
Yeah.
And it should be a red card and all of that. And you watch it, and the pass is really wayward and goes straight through to Edwin van der Sar. And it's almost completely incidental that Torres and O'Shea clash. Almost so incidental that you'd ask whether it's really even a foul, because the ball's never under control of the attacker. Not even close. He's never within 10 yards of it.
I mean, anyway. You're still not allowed to push people down.
You're not allowed to push people down, but it's not even clear that it's a push, right? It's a clash between two players. But
it's a foul. Listen, let's not go. It's like you're like the people who like are absolutely sure that they're being lied to by the government, so now believe the Earth is flat. It's like you've gone so far the other way.
One conspiracy theory at a time.
Yeah. This is the relentless, raging anger that this was. Well, surely that's a sending off. And there's one replay. They show it once. The replay from the reverse angle where you see how literally the Liverpool player is passing the ball to Edwin van der Sar, and the action is taking place because of foreshortening and all that. The action is taking place so far away from where the ball is, like, and Howard Webb very quickly books him for a deliberate foul, which I think is a perfectly reasonable decision. And the analysis of this didn't make me annoyed with the anti-Unitedness of it. it made me really feel sorry for referees because, like, so many of the people watching football are conditioned by the coverage that is kind of put out there. And it must be just impossible for referees who make a clear and obvious correct decision and get hammered by idiots, basically.
Yeah. Well, there's no chance this gets turned over by VAR for a red card. No chance. They do the red card check, but there's zero chance. It's not a denial of a goal scoring opportunity. There was never a goal scoring opportunity, and that was because of the Liverpool player who can't pass to his own man.
And there was also not a goal-scoring opportunity from the free kick, but Darren Fletcher, for some reason, decided they felt sorry for Steven Gerrard and very confusingly leaves the wall. I mean, we watched the Nasri thing from the Van Persie penalty in the City game. Listen, I'm not exaggerating, and not many people love Darren Fletcher more than I do, but this is as bad as what Samir Nasri does. He just ducks out of the way.
And I mean, it's going to hit him. It hits him square in the chest, or maybe the midriff, but not the gentleman. So there's no excuse.
Well, he
just gets out of the way.
So there's a Liverpool
right where he was.
Yeah, there's a Liverpool player to the left of him who breaks out of the wall, and he goes with the Liverpool player. Which I've never played professional football or even amateur football of any level, or was even in my school team. But I'm pretty sure that you don't leave the wall to go with the dummy runner.
They're not even playing man-to-man marking in this game, so he's like, "Oh, I've got to go with my man."
Yeah.
And it's compounded. The crime is compounded by the fact that is the side of the wall that Van der Sar is not protecting.
Yeah.
So he's wrong-footed by the free kick as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Liverpool are 2-2. Gerrard now gives it the really big I am.
It's just...
You had something to say.
It's pathetic. Like, he doesn't, spot a camera and run towards it, and in the spur of the moment, he sees the camera and starts beckoning the camera towards him. Come to me, come to me, come to me. Under any circumstances, the most he's done is equalise in this game. Like even if they hold on for 2-0, well done, you got a point. That's what is he doing?
He's always had a big ego and a large sense of his own importance, fueled by media personalities who, to be fair, didn't say he's the greatest player on the planet who's ever, and he probably invented football, but is the general tone around coverage of Steven Gerrard. Anyway, yes,
there's been a lot of talk about Paul Scholes and Steven Gerrard in the last 5 years. And every single bit of that talk has been utter... He's not fit to lace up Paul Scholes' boots. If you were picking a team... If you want a Roy of the Rovers for a somewhat average team, sure, pick Steven Gerrard. If you want a piece in the machinery of an amazing team, you wouldn't... There's just not even a second thought of which two of these you'd have.
Absolutely. Anyway, last laughs all round for United.
Very enjoyable.
It is.
The only thing Liverpool do is Morelos could have done a Van Persie versus Spain header, but just Morelos is not Van Persie, so he just sort of heads it wide harmlessly. And then there's the nanny dive for the pen. And then just joy unconfined. Scholes does really well to get the ball out wide to O'Shea because Scholes under quite a lot of pressure. Steven Gerrard could not have made that pass. Would not have made that pass. Wouldn't have been the right place to make that pass. Gets the ball out wide to O'Shea, who gets a good cross in, and Berbatov just easily towers above the Liverpool defender to score. And
above Carragher.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Enjoyably.
Another massively overrated player. And he wasn't even rated that highly. Bad defender.
Yeah. I quite like him. I think he seems all right, Jamie Carragher.
Apart from when he's spitting at teenagers.
Yeah, that's true. There was that. But I do have some sympathy for how appallingly people in the public eye get treated. But anyway, that was not a good thing. But yeah, Man United in 2010 were, in fact, it turns out, still really, really, really good.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And yes, it's a joy watching this again because you kind of remember when we were last good 10 years ago.
And, there were problems in this team and they conceded.
Yeah, and the depth of squad, Makeda, Gibson and Anderson come on, which kind of tells you that the squad was a bit thinner. Of the rest of them that were on the bench, I mean, there's a young Chris Smalling on the bench, Wes Brown, who's always, for his whole time at United, in and out of the side, Michael Owen.
Boo.
And Kuszak, the reserve keeper. So, there are issues with this squad for sure. But still, it's a squad that makes Champions League final, wins the league, and thoroughly dumps on Liverpool in this game.
Yeah. I mean, just I did remember it being quite a back and forth affair. I remembered their 2 goals, and maybe retrospectively influenced by the commentary and the fact that United had kind of thrown away a number of leads around that time. Thought this game was closer than it was, but the gulf in quality between these two teams is not dissimilar to the gulf in quality the other way round at the moment. So yeah, that's the unfortunate end note, but still.
Yes, I mean, we won the league with 80 points. Obviously, Liverpool are going to win this league with somewhat more than that, and the world has changed a little bit in the last few seasons in terms of the number of points that clubs. A lot of draws for United in this campaign. Liverpool were 6th on 58. I don't think we'll make 58 this season. We might do. Yeah.
The draws is the only reason it's only 80 points, isn't it? Because it really should have been a lot more. But,
only 4 defeats.
Once again, Ferguson gets a team to the Champions League final and wins the league in the same season, which really is one of the great differentiators between United's European success or, their best performances in Europe compared to some of our rivals who won the Champions League or got to finals in the times that we've been following. So, obviously back in the day, Liverpool used to win the European Cup and the league in the same season. But in 2005, where did they finish? 4th? Maybe? No, 5th, right? Because there was a whole thing about Everton not getting into the Champions League. 2012, Chelsea were nowhere near the league, if I remember rightly. And 2006, when Arsenal got to the Champions League final, Chelsea won the league. So there's, Fergie, good. That's, yeah.
Fergie, good. Berbatov, good, but good in parts, not in the whole, And we'll come on to this for backers. We'll talk about Berbatov's career at United and elsewhere, and I was going to say pundit, but personality might be the correct word afterwards. But some beautiful moment. Well, one really beautiful moment in this game. Yeah,
and just the poetic justice of Gerrard kissing the camera and then Liverpool losing was, just undiluted pleasure. Really, just. Yeah, this was. I really loved watching this game. It was very enjoyable, and it's been really nice to talk about it as well. So what we have to decide, which we definitely should have done before we started recording, because traditionally it's a disaster when we try and decide this during the game, is what we're going to do next. And it feels like quite high stakes at this point because there are so few left. I mean, we've done. I think we've done everything that I desperately wanted to do. Maybe we could do. I will just quickly check if it's available. But maybe we could do one of the comebacks against Tottenham. We did one, didn't we? We did. Yeah,
3-0 down at half time to 5-2. 5-3
like a long
win.
Time ago.
Yeah, there was the one at Old Trafford as well. I think we've done enough United Spurs games. You just love Spurs, don't you? Weirdo.
Well, that's kind of true, actually. But
let me give you a few options because we've done all the European Cup finals that matter. Well, except for the 99 but we all know the story of the 99 one. So here's some FA Cup finals. 83 Cup final. Interested in that? 85 Cup final. Dreadful game, but
nothing with extra time.
1990 Cup final.
Oh my God, which one?
Well, the first one was good. Second one bad, but United won.
We could do the 3-3. I mean, the thing that it feels a bit like to me is we've kind of told the stories that we've needed to tell, because one of the things that we've been doing, there's some randomness to our selections and just games we've enjoyed, but I do feel like we've covered tipping points and pivotal moments. I tell you what we should do.
What we haven't done is Fergie's last game. We could do that at some point.
Yeah, we could. The 5-5?
Yeah.
Should we do that next? Oh, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle the emotion.
Oh, I think we can do that. Why not?
All right, we'll do it. We'll do the 5-5 versus West Brom. Then that's coming up next. Romelu Lukaku hat-trick, which Fergie teased Rio about in the dressing room before the recent 2008 memorial game. Memorial's not the right word, but he said, "Did anyone else ever score a hat-trick against you, Rio?" And he goes, "No." And Gary Neville goes, "Didn't you see him at QPR?"
Oh.
It was good. All right. So yeah, we'll stay tuned back as we're going to talk Dimitar Berbatov for a bit, and everyone else will see you soon with the 5-5.
See you then. Thanks a lot.
With that.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.